Rob and Kale podcasts. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale
it.
Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale podcasts.
Let's go.
And welcome in to the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening here on the show. We appreciate it as always. Of course, we're here on the best damn Gamecock YouTuber on the planet's YouTube channel at Carolina Jackpot. If you're following the show somewhere else, go follow the YouTube page, by the way. We need to do that. But I want to bring in my friend who I learned a couple of things about today. One, he is what was the term from The Rock? He's not
Kumsa.
And he just wants somebody to talk to him. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall.
What's going on, guys? Happy hump day. Get your freak on. Exciting day, wasn't it? Exciting evening. And I didn't know when that schedule release was coming up. Everybody just kept saying it was Wednesday. And I work so much anymore that I'm like out of it. And I'm like, oh, well, I should have figured. You know, it's like at 7 o'clock tonight, they're making a big production out of it. But, you know, there you go.
We're going to go over some of that in a moment. But yeah, we got that to talk about and some other things too. So we'll get into that in just a moment. First of all, I want to do something a little bit different here this evening. We normally have fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot. I put a link in the YouTube bio. And Dennis, who is our fine sponsor from DNC Trucking and Transport, talked to me today. He called me up and he goes, Rob, I want to make a deal with the devil. I said, Dennis, what are you talking about? He said that he wanted to put out there that he is willing to give up some of these fireside chats if some of these folks, the Gamecock brethren, whoever it is, will go to the link that's in the bio here and help send these young folks to the Arise Youth Conference this summer in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. They're going to go up there and learn about Jesus and everything else. Now, they're taking these young folks from the Gaston Swansea area, which for those of you who don't know, very country, rural area of our state. Dennis was telling me they're going to basically Goodwill to get them collared shirts and things like that. So they'll be set up to go to the evening services and things like that. So that stuff costs money. You're going to Pigeon Forge, costs money. So if we can get some folks to give to this charity to set some of these young folks up, it's right there in the bio. It ends on the 18th. If you can send some stuff to there, just put the name of the show in the bio there. All right, when you do your little donation, we will relieve Carolina Jackpot of doing some of these things. In fact, as a gesture of goodwill, we're not going to read one tonight. We're not. The one I gave you tonight, Jackpot, throw it in the trash can. As a gesture of goodwill here, you folks give to this charity, send some folks to up to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and help these young folks with Jesus, basically. I will read whatever the blue fuck Carolina Jackpot sends me, whatever this ignorant motherfucker Peg and Megan sends me. Hell, I'll read whatever Big Barney Ross sends me, as long as we get some of these folks up to Pigeon Forge and help our good friend Dennis Wilson out. So there's that. So there's our stop.
You're not outlining the criteria though. They just have to make a donation, or is there a certain?
If you give $10, I'll read one of your things. As simple as that. After $100 though, we relieve Jackpot of one of his weeks. But I'll read your shit for $10. Go over there and help these young folks out.
Thank you, Papa B, for posting that link in the chat as well. Appreciate that. And, if you happen to be watching the replay of this, which a lot of folks end up watching the replay, Well, not the replay. They just, you know what I'm saying. They don't watch it as a live video. They watch it later. Then you can certainly feel free to also and too. That sounds like a great thing.
Well, it is a good thing, and
I went to Bible camp, vacation Bible school every year until I was at least probably about 13 or 14 years old. I mean, and now, I spend every Saturday, guzzling beer and cursing and yelling at the television at a football team that doesn't often do the things that I'd like for it to do. And then I also curse and use profanity sometimes in real life as well. But dang it, I'd like to think it still made me a better person. I like to refer to those times as just times that I've been tempted and I failed the test of temptation.
It seasoned you that
every weekend.
There's a question out there. There's no question out there that Carolina Jackpot has a good heart. And he developed that good heart by going to Bible school. Right?
Exactly. As my mother-in-law said, I don't put negative energy out into the world.
There you go. So send some money that way. It ends on Sunday. So you can find $10 in your couch cushions. If you send $5, whatever. They're trying to raise, I think it's $4,000.
Don't reach down your couch cushions if you do drugs, though, or if some of your family members have or may have been an addict or had a problem in the past, like during COVID or something. You might get your finger stuck with a needle.
Or if your significant other may have from the Mazodcast, what was the name of the massive thing that was in the couch?
The home wrecker.
The home wrecker. If there's a home wrecker in your couch, you don't want to reach in there for that. And if you do get videos, so we can get hits out of it. Anyway, shout out to the Mazodcast as they're getting back into their stuff. But anyway, that's how it works. Help out the folks there. Help out Dennis Wilson as he really is trying to help the fine young folks out in Swansea, Gaston. Help those folks
out. Rob has the SEC buy sell. I'll never forget Jack Block calling his mom after the Clemson game. I did do that.
He did do that. And he called me. I'm on the radio. And this motherfucker called me, which is funny. I think you were happier after the Tennessee game, though. My opinion. It's just my opinion. You may have been happier after the Clemson game because let's be honest.
Well, after the Tennessee game, the week prior, I had made the video denouncing my fandom unless changes were made, and the whole time after the Tennessee game, I was like, all right, how am I going to explain this? But after the Clemson game, it was all good. The hoodie came out the first quarter of the Tennessee game. I just sat there and started watching it. And I'm like, and then when I realized changes were made, I'm like, yep. Woo.
I give shit to Peg and Megan, but he was trying to get on with the Tennessee game too, if I remember correctly. But that was, Jackpot was a happy dude right then. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, go and support that. The link is in the bio. So thank you guys for that. Whatever it is you can do to help send some of these folks up there. When Dennis told me, hey, we're going to Goodwill to get them collar shirts. Holy shit with all that. So anyway.
Rob has SEC bias says, who is Megan Mullen kissing these days? Well, she, from what I understand, last year, I guess she was kissing some high schoolers, right? When he was, what was he done? He did something at some high school in Georgia.
Yeah.
There's an assistant coach or something. Did you see there was a tweet put out, like a fake tweet put out Monday night?
I know. I read that and then realized it was fake, and I was like, yeah, all right.
It looked legitimate, and it was just like out of the fucking blue. I was like, damn. And I was eating dinner with my son when he saw it, showed it to me, and I'm like, I guess we know who's going to be calling plays for Rudy Bob.
Yeah, the tweets was saying that Dan Mullen was going to be an offensive analyst for South Carolina, by the way, and it ended up being fake. Peg and Megan normally never says anything that's worthwhile. This is funny, though. Ask him who is he kissing? Anybody but Dan. Very good, sir. Very good.
Well, it's just the reason it was believable is because it hasn't been talked about in so long. I mean, everybody was, if when you're there, everybody was back and forth like, what are they going to do with Dan? Where's he going to go before he became a TV analyst or whatever? If then at that time somebody put it out, you'd be like, yeah, this is crap or whatever. But like, it's been like a year since any of that has ever even been discussed or talked about or in the news. So it was just really weird, and I fell for it.
Well, anyway, thanks to you guys. If you guys can help us out with that charity, and it is kind of funny the whole Peg and the thing with Dan Mullen may come to South Carolina as an analyst. Get the fuck out of
Sir UG AAA says, listen, it's a load of bullshit. High schools in Georgia are way better than high schools in South Carolina. Okay, we're going to start fighting over high schools now. Based on what? Because they got AstroTurf on some of the high school football fields.
Hey, Jackpot. Normally we don't share the text messages we send back and forth, but can I? The Tennessee text you sent me earlier, can I talk about that?
Oh, by all means. We don't have many of them in here tonight.
This is the same thing the same kind of mentality that we have with Jackpot sent me a clip of some Tennessee fucking podcast. I don't know what it was. Fluoride Lessons 101, whatever the hell that is. And the first comment is Tennessee fans are the best fan base, period. And Jackpot's like, these people piss me off. I laugh at that because I guess growing up in South Carolina and being around South Carolina when they were the shits and people still pack that. Oh God. Is that the police? You need to run?
No, it's not. Oh no, worse. I
thought it was the cops.
No, it's somebody do something worse to me than the popo.
Shit. Yeah, I was like, Jackpot, tell him to come back with a warrant.
Mrs. Jackpot was just scraping something out of a pan, and
well, the way it came across is it sounded like your house was being raided.
No, I want to show that puppy tonight. By the way,
how is that puppy? Is it didn't everything came out all right, right?
Yeah, she's fine. She's been sleeping. She pretty much has been sleeping for the past like 3 days. She did eat some of the hydrangea bush, and it's I think it was at the end of the podcast the other night. I think it was Lisa who commented in the comment section that the hydrangeas have cyanide in them. Whoa, I didn't know that. I mean, I thought they were just a pretty plant that had things on them look like snowballs. But apparently they're a dangerous weapon. So it's been fenced off now, and she took some medicine to make her throw up and poop, and just been sleeping a lot. But she'll be fine.
Well, there you go. Update on the puppy. All right. Look, I want to go over South Carolina's schedule for 2024 real quick, Jackpot. And since they released it today.
Yep.
And look, it's kind of hard to sit here and say, all right, this team's going to be good, this team's going to be bad, because in reality, you don't really know. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at that, and you got Gamecock people over on the message boards, which some of these people are, have a pretty good opinion of things and have a pretty good handle on stuff. Some of them say stuff that's just dumber than dirt. And they're like, looks like a pretty easy schedule to me. For as far as a home slate, I'm like, huh? Well, how can you really quantify that? Because, okay, let's say this right now was the summer of 20. We're sitting here on June 14th, 2021. And the schedule for the 2022 season, they redid all this. Let's just move everything up 2 years. Okay. Well, then let's say you got a road matchup at I don't know, whoever the hell, Ole Miss, and let's say it says you got a road matchup at Tennessee. Okay,
Right.
well, in the summer of 2021, you're looking at that, and they're coming off a 3-7 COVID year. You're like, yeah, and they got a new coach. You're like, well, that'll be a win. That'll be, and then you wouldn't know. Fast forward, a year later, you know what? That's going to be a pretty tough game for you.
Look,
Things
I do
change, and they
well,
change pretty quickly.
You're right about that. I do think one of the things we're going to miss is not having Georgia on the schedule. I think that's something
it's only for 1 year. I mean, this is a 1 year thing, and then because I'm looking at it and I was like, well, who's the permanent rivals, and who's this? Well, there's not any on there. It's not. It's just a schedule that they came up with. There's not any permanent rivals on there for you as yet.
And I
am I correct in saying that? They're gonna.
I believe so, but the SEC, in my opinion, I mean, they had to add, they had to put Texas and Oklahoma into the thing, and there's going to be stuff that was left behind. I personally am, being someone that's covered that Gamecock program for so long, not having Georgia on the schedule, regardless of how Georgia is, it's just kind of sad. Because, look, let's just be honest. If you're a Gamecock fan, are you going to get up more for a Georgia matchup or Mizzou or Vanderbilt? I mean,
I agree with you, but we've played all those teams too. Look, I mean, you had to play Texas, Oklahoma, so we got that. And then you look at these other West teams: Ole Miss, LSU, Alabama. Those are three teams South Carolina hasn't played in a while. Well, I mean, I guess Ole Miss they did a couple of years ago. In venues that they haven't played you in a while. The Ole Miss game at home. I think the last time South Carolina played Ole Miss at home, I want to say
a long fucking time ago.
I want to say 2009.
Yeah.
Look, last time South Carolina played at Bama, 2009. Last time LSU came to Columbia, 2008. Do you believe that?
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's
believe
just
that.
The other thing,
MVP was the United States heavyweight champion the last time LSU came to Columbia.
No LSU no Florida on the schedule either, Jackpot.
Yeah, I know. And like I said, I mean, I think these guys, they just got bumped off because they wanted to get those games in. And with like Florida, I mean, with Florida and Georgia, they kept their rivalries there. See, those guys have rivalries that have been going on since before 1992 when South Carolina came in. So, we're kind of just in an odd situation. But South Carolina and Georgia have played every year. They played every year since the mid-'70s. 1990 and 91, for some reason, they took those 2 years off. They didn't play. But they've played every other year since the mid-'70s. So it's going to be weird not playing them. But, it's for 1 year. It was weird not playing Clemson for 1 year,
Addressing Sir Uga's comments in the comments section, he's over there railing me about the Slob Olympics. Sir, the Slob Olympics are 8 months away, 6 months away, or whatever. It's not really valid to what we're talking about right now. I mean, I'm not trying to, it's not valid what we're going with, man. I appreciate your concern about my whereabouts on those days, but we're actually trying to talk about something that is relevant, which is the schedule that was just released this evening.
That's about as far removed from my mind right now as the next year's college basketball season.
Anyway, so but South Carolina, let's see here. I'm going to post the link if you want to get into that conversation. Post the link over here in the comment section now. Who are you talking to?
Ziggy.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn. All right, there you go. If you want to look at it from that perspective, you want to get involved with it, you can. South Carolina will have LSU at home. in addition to Mizzou, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. They go on the road to Alabama, Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt. So that's the South Carolina.
I don't know what happened to Rob's sound. As soon as I brought the puppy, the sound went out. People in the chat, if you can hear Carolina Jackpot, please tell Rob that I cannot hear him. I think they're already letting him know. Does anybody have anything to say about the puppy? Is he cute? Is the puppy cute? She makes little noises like it's like a guinea pig or something. You hear the little whimpers? Find a show.
Yeah, she makes a little noises.
It's a girl, Thomas. But yeah, it's a cute puppy. Yeah. What you mad, huh? What you doing? Are you tired? Come here, Ziggy. Give Puppy a kiss. That is Ziggy's new sister. Yes, Nature Boy, it's a Shih Tzu. Chris Gray says Cocker Spaniel plus Shih Tzu equals Cocker shit. It won't show that comment. Somebody that's a moderator hit that little thing away and get it where everybody can see it. That was pretty good. Brock Lee says my Shih Tzu made weird noises too. Mine oinked like a pig. Yeah, they make little weird noises. I got the little short snout, kind of like a pug, but just different.
There, pot. All right, there we go. We should be good now. Sorry about that. And now I'm not hearing you. God damn it. Yeah, hold on just a minute here. Things just went to shit here really quick. Like, try again. Hold on, please. Mm-hmm. All right, so I think we're good now. Sorry about that, Jackpot. And now I can't hear you. Damn it! What the hell's going on here? Hold on a minute, man. Let's see here. Why is it doing that? All right, bear with me a second here, folks. Bear with me 1 second here. Give me 1 minute. All right, Jackpot. As my computer had to reboot there. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me, buddy? Yes, no, maybe. I don't think Jackpot can hear me. Jackpot's not moving over there. What the hell's going on with this thing? All right, well, let's see here. Hold on. Look, I'm trying. Come back. Can you guys hear me over there? No, I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. Hold on, man. Try something else here. All right, can you guys hear me over there now? Maybe. Jackpot, you can't hear me, right? All right, hold on. Let's see here. What the hell's going on here? It's like the internet just bumped us for some reason, and I don't understand why. All right, so it's showing me that you guys should be hearing me over there. I don't get it. All right, so they can hear me, but not you. All right, Jackpot, leave and then come back. Hold on, let me just tell Jackpot. There we go. Hold on, let's see here. I know. Then come back. There we go. There you go. He got it. All right. Anyway, I don't know what happened there. So it says I'm choppy now. Okay. Well, I don't get what happened there, but it shouldn't be silly now. I mean, it should be coming through there. Maybe. I don't know what happened. It's like a blip or something. So is that better? Hash browns. That's funny. Okay. So is that better? Let's see if we can add Jackpot. All right. Here we go. Hello, Jackpot. There you go.
Exactly what in the hell are we doing here?
Brother, I don't know. Yeah, it says we're clear now. And I apologize for that. But I don't know. It may have been something with the software. I don't get it.
I hope you don't ever fly a plane that I'm a passenger on.
That had nothing to do with me. I was just sitting here, brother. My fault, guys.
Say
Anyway.
prayers.
All right,
I'm gonna talk to Jesus beforehand.
Trying to send people to Jesus, sir. That's the way it's looking here. All right. Anyway, there you go. There's the link. If you would like to join the program. Sorry about that. Pete says it's tornadoes pushing through South Carolina. Yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. I don't know. I haven't heard about. I mean, have you heard about tornadoes?
Walterboro?
Yeah, probably.
Jerry Wells said, Jackpot, what do you get on Waffle House hash browns? Nothing. Put ketchup on them.
You don't put anything else on your hash browns?
No, not rarely. I mean, I think I've had some cheese on them before, but I'd rather just have them plain and put the stuff I like on there.
All right. Anyway, looking at the schedule, I don't think that adding Texas is something that's going to scare any Georgia fan or any or Kirby Smart. I really don't. Billy says he always gets grits, no sugar. That's blasphemy. Good point, sir.
No sugar.
Yeah, there are people that put sugar in grits.
What? They do?
Yeah, they put sugar in grits.
My grandma used to fix rice, and they'd have some left over, and then she'd fix it the next morning and have it for breakfast. and put sugar on it.
Mm.
You ever had that? But not
No.
grits. Never heard of that.
Never heard of that at all.
I've heard of putting possum gravy on them.
What is possum gravy?
It's like chicken gravy or pork gravy or turkey gravy. It's just,
Do you use possum meat instead of regular meat?
somebody eats possum meat and cooks it, and the juices that come off of it, you mix it with flour and whatnot and thicken it up, and it's possum gravy.
I'm not eating possum. That ain't fucking happening. I ain't eating that shit. That's a jackpot fix there. I'm not doing all that.
No, I haven't either. I'm just just saying it for just like they're over here talking about shrimp and grits. I ain't never had it.
Really?
No,
No.
I don't
Why
like
is that?
shrimp.
You don't like shrimp?
No, I don't really like any kind of seafood.
Yeah,
If it swam, I'm not a fan.
that's a good point.
Brandon Coon says, y'all like chitlins or ever tried them? No, never tried them. Sold a ton of them. Used to sell like crazy at Thanksgiving and Christmas. In some of the stores I worked at. You had to have the right clientele. I'm just saying. Not trying to be
Jerry wants to know if you're Jewish over the seafood thing.
but you did. Like, no.
Yeah. I'm not much of a seafood guy either, so never been big
Yeah,
on that.
I just, I had a few bad experiences, and I just never been a fan. So yeah, I'm the guy that goes to Long John Silver's and gets the chicken planks. I'm the guy that goes to the big fish or seafood restaurant at the beach, and I'll get an amazing burger or some amazing chicken, but no fish.
Look, Jackpot was asking for Clemson fans that come on the show. Rods, lawnmower, and small engine repair serving the upstate of South Carolina. There you go. There's some Clemson fans.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Hold that tiger.
Yeah, there you go. Jackpot, have we gotten to a point now where there's a section of people that are just like they don't want to do back and forth anymore. I think we're getting to that. I mean, there's and there aren't very many people that are just gonna come and go in tooth and nail. I know that you're going to come here and you're going to talk up your Gamecocks. They could be 0-11 going into the Clemson game, and you're going to come in here and be like, you know what? Has nothing to do with Clemson. Has to do with us. I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I mean, lack of performance,
Yeah, Peg and Megan's the same way, whether he's supporting, Texas A&M, Georgia, or Clemson, whatever team. I mean, he's got several tube tops. All of them are sequined up, and he's ready for the season. He'll defend his team regardless. So
Brandon Coon says, Jackpot, if you ever come through Clinton, try eating at the Blue Ocean Seafood or at Dempsey's Pizza. I've been to Clinton many times, ate at Dempsey's Pizza a bunch, and just told you I don't like seafood. So, yeah. But I do know where the Blue Ocean is off the interstate there. It's always it's only open on Friday and Saturday nights or something, but it's always packed.
Bulldog 1776 says, you think Saban's happy about the schedule? I don't think Saban's happy about anything. He's an old man.
No, he's cracked. The last time he probably genuinely cracked a good smile was probably 1996. He just looks like an unhappy dude.
Big Bonnie Ross says you should go to the Blue Oyster Cult. That's great. All right, so if you want to join the program, there's the link for the StreamYard. I just put it in there. Yeah, Brandon's correct. It's weird that Clemson is on the Georgia schedule, but South Carolina is not. That's just strange. Strange.
Over on the Uncle Lou show, I did not watch all that tonight. I was doing something. I watched some of the live reveal. That's where I actually started off watching it in the truck on the way home. It tells you how late I got home. I don't know. Somebody said that he made some kind of comment that South Carolina and Georgia, they weren't rivals, and then when that we weren't on the schedule for them, he said they aren't going to be happy about this. South Carolina and Georgia is a rivalry, whether you want to admit it or not. I mean, it is. I mean, two teams have played every year, which granted, that doesn't make it a rivalry. They're bordering states. They battle for the same recruits. We usually lose those battles, and I mean they're rivals. I mean, it just is. They were playing outside of Georgia Tech. Outside of Tech. They have a longer running thing with South Carolina as far as a non-conference opponent than anyone else. I mean, and then Clemson was too there for a while, but then they kind of dipped off and they were kind of spotty with each other throughout the 80s and 90s. And the Gamecocks, they continued to play them every year. So.
Let's go out to the lines here and welcome in Peg and Megan. Peg and Megan, what's up, buddy?
Rob, for the record, the show was much better when we could not hear you.
That's fine.
I asked this question to the chat there. Who do you guys think kind of took it up the rear the worst with looking at the new schedules?
I mean,
I haven't looked at everybody. I mean, I saw everybody's there, but I haven't really.
I think Vandy had go of it, didn't they? Didn't Vanderbilt get the kind of the shaft basically? Looking at, I think they've got Alabama, and look, your schedule's tough in my opinion. If you get Alabama, Georgia, or LSU, if you have those three on your schedule's pretty fucking tough in my opinion. So I'm looking to see here, but I think Vanderbilt had all of those if I remember correctly. Hold on. So they've got Alabama, LSU. They don't have Georgia for Vanderbilt, but they do have Texas, and they have to go to Auburn. So that's kind of tough. The Georgia schedule theoretically could be tough, but
I was just thinking, Rob, too, when they said that, when they did that, and they figured South Carolina has to play Alabama, they have to play LSU because they haven't played these teams in a while. That may be why Georgia's not on the schedule. They may have said, hey, we can't, they can't play all these guys,
I have issues with it not being a rivalry with South Carolina and Georgia. If that just because Georgia wins a lion's share of those games, then why in the fuck did the conference bend over backwards to have Alabama and Tennessee, who Tennessee has lost 17 of their last 18 to them? They've gotten, just road graded. But hell, we've got to have that third Saturday in October. But you know what? Fuck the South Carolina Georgia game. That's why I want the SEC offices to burn to the ground when they make stupid ass decisions like that. It's just fucking stupid. Doesn't make any sense at all.
I do hate not playing South Carolina. I'm with you. That doesn't seem right at all. I know it's not, it's not as old as the Auburn rivalry or Florida, but it just, I don't know. We've all gotten so used to it by now.
Well, like I was saying, when South Carolina was independent and it was a non-conference matchup for Georgia, they still played almost every year.
Yeah.
But as a Georgia fan, though, are you going to get up more for playing? Let's see here. They've still got you playing Kentucky, which I guess that's a long-standing SEC rivalry as well. Ole Miss is there. I mean, Mississippi State. You get both Mississippi schools.
Yeah, I think
doesn't make any sense.
I think Florida gets both Mississippi schools too, if I'm not mistaken. I'm telling you, they may have gotten the worst of all the schedules. That you look at their schedule.
I'm looking at it right now. We'll read it down real quick here. Hold on just a second there.
Well, when you look at it, don't forget their non-conference. I think they open with Miami, and then at the end of the year, they play FSU on top of what the SEC did to them.
Yeah, so they've got at Mississippi State, LSU, Georgia, and Jacksonville. They go to Texas. They go to Tennessee. They get Kentucky, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss at home. In addition to Florida State and Miami, that is, it couldn't have happened to a better group of fucking fans. By the way,
Yeah, they are the new Tennessee as far as being delusional too. But no, find me 2 for sure wins on that schedule of Florida's. You can't do it.
it'd be tough. I did one of the things I found interesting today, though, is ESPN had their write up at about 5:00 today, where they kind of got the leak of the schedule, and they mentioned all of the non-con games that the SEC teams play, like South Carolina, Clemson, and and Kentucky. They even mentioned Kentucky and Louisville. They didn't mention shit about y'all and the Nerds, though.
Yeah.
How bad has that game gotten? Where ESPN's like, nah, that game doesn't fucking matter. That's like Kennesaw State. Who gives a shit?
Hey, Georgia Tech, well, last year, they were more competitive with Georgia than the Gamecocks were.
Well, that's true.
You think Georgia gave a shit
And it
about
was
that?
in Sanford Stadium with like a 4th-string bum for a quarterback and an interim head coach. What the hell?
Georgia Tech. They're not looking to win the damn game against Georgia. They're just trying to win the fucking fight afterwards. That's basically what they're doing now.
Yeah, that's pretty indicative of how bad Georgia Tech is when ESPN just completely forgets about them. Yeah.
They mentioned Kentucky, Louisville, for God's sake. But hey, let's not talk about a team that's won a national title in the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Playing another.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's not been real competitive in a while.
I do think with that Florida schedule, if Napier survives this year with what they gave Florida for 24, that may do it right there for Billy Napier.
It's kind of hard for me to sit and I like to go.
They might fire him after this year. They go through some coaches down there.
Yeah, that's my thing, man. They may tell him to kick rocks, and we may have somebody else down there.
Yeah.
By this time next year. I mean, what did he do last year where you're like, you know what? I feel nice and warm and fuzzy about this season.
Nothing.
We beat Utah.
Did that? Okay. I mean,
that was a huge win. Then he turned around the next week and lost to Kentucky.
Yeah, and finished it up by losing to Vanderbilt. So, yeah,
you lost to freaking Vanderbilt, where they don't even have like organized athletics. It's just intramurals. Took a fucking intramural team, went out there and beat Florida.
Right. Then the bowl
Barney
game.
Ross, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Kentucky will beat Louisville like South Carolina did Tennessee. There you go. Gonna beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah,
probably. What else you got for the program? Because I kind of agree with you with the Florida thing.
Yeah, I believe they play UCF as well, and I'm telling you, don't pencil that in as a win. UCF
they do?
may be a better program.
Yeah, Florida right now, you can make an argument they're the 4th best program in the state of Florida right now.
Well,
Absolutely.
Everybody should be playing UCF, Florida, and Florida State, and Miami, and all of them have been what's the word I'm looking for, Rob? Ducking UCF for years. And Florida wouldn't play them or something because UCF wanted to play a home and home or something. And no, they wouldn't do that. Yeah. They won 2 home games and 1 road game or something, and UCF wouldn't agree to it. So they were just like, "Fuck it, no, we're not going to play then."
By the way, I'm going to give you something over there, Peg and Megan, just for you, because this is something that I know that you will appreciate. Go right now to Twitter and look up any Oklahoma fan or Texas fan, because all of them are running their jizz traps right now about, oh, we're going to walk right through that conference. I'm telling you, they're at almost a Tennessee level of arrogance right now coming into that conference. And the fact that they're going to struggle to get to 8-4, in my opinion, just makes me happy. It makes me really, really happy.
I'll be surprised if either one of them hits eight wins, honestly.
I think
Oklahoma.
Texas could.
Well, Oklahoma's first round through. Let's look at theirs really quick because there were some folks that were upset with that part of the schedule. Let me look here. Got it up here. Hold on.
For the Gamecocks, that game at Oklahoma in 2024, I mean, that's all going to depend on them and what kind of team. I mean, if with the Oklahoma last year, does that give you any reason to be nervous about that game? No.
So they get Texas and Dallas. They've got South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee. They go to Mizzou. They play at LSU. They play at Auburn, and they play at Ole Miss. You can make an argument that's a pretty damn tough schedule in its own right there. I mean, you got to go to LSU, and you got to play Alabama too.
And Auburn is going to be improved by then.
They will. Yeah.
A good bit.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
Old Skeletor is going to want to come back to Clemson to be a defensive analyst. All right.
I thought you were talking about Bill Snyder there for a moment. I'm like, when was he ever at Clemson?
No, that's who Brent Venables looks like. He looks like Skeletor. What else you got there, Peg and Megan?
43-18.
Have a wonderful evening, sir. At least you did not show us your snout this evening. Start calling you Peg and Snout. Peg and Megan joining the program. We appreciate him as always. I'll put the link out one more time before we get out of here. As
the Gamecock 22 says, I hope we can get UGA back in 25. It needs to be a yearly thing as it has. They will. They'll get it back on there. I mean, much as they don't want to admit it, that's a rivalry, and you haven't seen The Last of Us. So.
Yeah. Brandon Kuhn says, at least you keep Vanderbilt on the schedule.
Elijah Allen says he wouldn't be surprised if Josh Heupel drops 50 on his alma mater. Mm-hmm. And with that defense that you guys have got, the alma mater are probably going to drop 58 on him.
Anyway, so that schedule came out. We'll see how that rolls. You don't know how all these teams are going to be. We can throw straws into the wind, but we don't really know. No one thought Texas A&M would miss a bowl game last year.
Exactly. I mean, like just the same thing I was talking about with the using Tennessee, for example, back in the summer of 21. If you saw that, you'd think, oh, okay, well, that's a win for us. If you had Texas A&M on your schedule, you'd be like, oh, God, we're screwed here. They were just coming off of a New Year's game appearance at the end of the COVID year, and everything was looking up for them. And, I mean, they, were the shits. So.
And then things can change very quickly. Folks talking about the College World Series this weekend. I'm not watching one fucking inning. Fuck off.
You're not watching any of it?
Nope, not watching any of it. The Tennessee stench on it will bring it down. I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, how did they so they came back and won game 3, or did they I didn't even
you got to give props to teams for getting there. It's just the College World Series is hard for me to watch unless my team is in it, because it's just like so regardless of who was there, I probably wouldn't be.
It's been hard for you to watch for about 12 years running now. It's
been hard to watch. I'm just being honest. It's hard for me to watch.
Well, look, here's the thing. They had a whole hell of a lot easier draw than South Carolina did. Of course, that's our fault. If we'd won more games down the stretch, we would have been seeded higher, and we wouldn't have ended up having to play Florida probably. But.
Well, yeah, and you have that in the mix too. But I think deep down in the heart of the folks that were doing Selection Sunday, they were thinking that the Campbell Camels were going to come into Columbia and win that matchup. That's what they were thinking. I wouldn't surprise me. So, there you go with that. But
were they the number? Were they the 2 seed in the tournament?
They were 2 seed in that regional, yeah.
Yeah.
So
NC State was
3.
Yeah. They were shit on a stick.
Yeah.
They're not good at all.
They weren't very good at all. So
they're not. I mean, who NC State reminds me of? in
Gamecock
sport,
football team?
huh?
Gamecock football team not worth a shit.
Fuck off. No, fuck off. No. In like baseball and basketball, I mean, they remind me of Georgia in a way. I mean, same colors and everything. Suck at both of them. You know,
That's one way to look at it.
I mean, their men's basketball team. Well, no, wait. They actually made the tournament though, didn't they?
I think so.
But didn't Clemson beat them? Didn't the Tatars beat them like 3 times?
Yeah,
Blew them out.
NC State is kind of like, all right, whatever. I remember when they had Chuck Amato there and they thought they were Big Billy Badass. And when Phillip Rivers was there and he had like 6 kids on the one, he was on his way to having 12, you know, and then they were running around throwing the ball all over the place. Still couldn't beat Clemson. Yeah.
They've never been elite. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know South Carolina's athletics program has had its hangups and stuff, but they've never, I mean, the highlight of their, entire athletic, I mean, the highlight of everything was that what was it? Not the 83 national championship team.
Yeah. The Valvano. Here's the one thing I'll always remember about NC State is, them basically telling Russell Wilson, yeah, you fucking can go to Wisconsin. We don't want you here. Yeah. Russell Wilson won 2 Super Bowls. That guy, one of the best. I mean, the guy that was drafted by the Yankees to play baseball was a hell of a baseball player too. No, you're not good.
I watched him play in a minor league baseball game.
Yeah.
Did you believe that? It was in like 2010-ish, maybe.
Yeah.
Played for somebody that Greenville Drive played.
He was good enough to, he could have done that. He really could have played, you know. Mike says UGA basketball is coming back and baseball is with the new hire. Okay.
They told us that the last time UGA hired a basketball coach. When they hired the coach from Florida, they were supposed to be the shit.
What did Tom Crean? And then they hired.
No, yeah, that's right. That it was Mark Fox, and then they fired him, and then Tom Crean came, and he was god awful, and this one was god awful. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not buying all that. Georgia's baseball team's been pretty good at some points, you know, but basketball team's the shit.
I believe they were the last team to beat Clemson before they went on that big winning streak in baseball this past season.
Yeah, Peg and Megan says, Mike, you're on your own there, buddy. I don't think most Georgia fans know where, Stedman Coliseum is? So
Stingerman Coliseum, yeah.
The hell it is.
Yeah, I've never seen that building.
Yeah.
Don't know where it's at. I know the football stadium's at. I've been to a couple of games there, but I don't know. I've never been to that facility.
Roll Tide says Bama basketball going to kill the competition next year. Yeah, you got to have another murderer on your squad. Yeah, hopefully Nate Oates is out there looking in the penal leagues for the next guy to come out and try to get his GED over there at Alabama.
It's been a long time. The last time I was at Georgia and saw the Gamecocks play there was the lay down dogs game. You remember that one?
Yeah, the comrade was on the sideline for that game.
Yeah, he was a bench warmer. Yeah, that was a good one. Lay down, you guys. It was just pandemonium there at the end of it, really.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's the schedule. I don't think we're going to do a show on Sunday, Jackpot. It's Father's Day. I'm going to hang out with my kids.
At 9 o'clock at night?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
You're thinking about it? They might have other plans that don't include you.
My kids don't want to hang out.
Today's been all about Dad. Tonight's going to be about us. We are the night.
You think that's the way that it is? All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. But we'll put it up in the air until then. So, anyway, support
Nature
Dennis.
Boy said Nate Oates picks his lineup from behind one-way glass.
Exactly. I told you he gets guys from the penal league. It's the way that it is. He's like, man, that guy's taking that guy off the dribble. As long as we keep the gun away from him, he'll be all right. So, anyway, you got anything else for tonight's show, Jackpot?
I don't. I'm going to kind of review those schedules though at my not at my leisure, but I'm going to do it when I get time, and to kind of sit down with it in the next couple of days, and I'll deliver some kind of video on that. It's time for me to start doing some game by game predictions for teams that I'm interested in, teams that I feel like our listeners and viewers are interested in. So I'm gonna start up with some of that stuff. I mean, honestly, or obviously, I can't do an exhaustive list like Lou does. I mean, he does one like every day throughout the summer. Dude will end up doing like 50 or 60 of them by the end of the summer. There's just no way I can do that. But I did last year. I don't know. I think I did 4 or 5 of them. I'm pretty sure that with Kentucky, I'm pretty sure I predicted a 7-5 regular season for them, and I hit the nail on the head. And the games, I might have screwed a couple of those up, but I think the overall record was just about where I had nailed it. And I got some hate comments in there. You're stupid. 7-5. So we wouldn't go 7-5 on our worst year. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. What'd you do? You went 7-5. There you go.
Jackpot. Why don't we keep track of that? And you and I we'll pick them together on the show. We'll start picking a couple of teams each show up until the season starts, and we'll see where we end up at the season. We'll put them up on the website. See what happens.
There you go. Brandon Kuhn says, "What was the cause of the Iron Sheik's death?" I don't know. It was just
He's 82 years old. He's 82 fucking years old. He did crack for 25 years. He's lucky to live that fucking long.
That's true. I mean, he was he was not in good health and didn't always lead the best lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah, so there's that.
Well, I mean, shit, we were talking about that, the other night. I mean, he was 82. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. 82.
Well, yeah, it's just like we were talking about the other night. You remember? So in 2001, at the WrestleMania gimmick battle royal or whatever, they had to let him win because he couldn't take a bump over. He couldn't go over the top rope. He couldn't take the bump. So that would have put him at what, like 60 then?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hell, Terry Funk was doing moonsaults and shit off the top rope at 60.
Yeah, but he's not Terry Funk, though. Come on.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying you would think he'd be in a little bit better shape than that.
But brother, he did crack for 25 years every day. Come on now. And I'm not just saying this just to maybe there's some kind of preservative in crack or some shit. It's like him and Keith Richards is still alive. He's done more crack than Harlem did in the 80s. So I'm just saying, the shit ton of crack these guys did, and maybe that's what killed him. Who knows?
I did crack.
You did crack?
I did crack lately. I have a pair of. I've got
hold on. You did crack. What? We got to talk about that.
I've got some underwear, boxer briefs. Life is Good is on the band of them. I don't know. Mrs. Jackpot got it from me from Old Navy. It's like a big pack of them. There's like 7 or 8 of them in there, and there's one pair. She got me 2 packs of them that were like that. There's one pair in each pack. It's just a blue pair, and it's got little dogs all over it. And I had those on the other day, and I wear shorts. I've been wearing shorts probably ever since March, I guess, out running the route every day. And sometimes I'll fall down just a little bit. And I was either in a QT or somewhere the other day putting up some chips. And I had on those particular boxer briefs, and some little kid I heard he passed by. But I knew he passed by, and I knew my pants had fallen down because I could feel when this kid walked by, I could feel like a breeze, across the back of the top of my buttocks. And he said something. I heard a snicker, and mommy, he's got doggies on his underwear.
Oh God. I don't know where to go from there on that. Jackpot said he did crack and that he's got dogs on his underwear. End the fucking show. I don't know where do we go from there, Jackpot?
Yeah, Thomas said, are you sub to the Kevin Nash podcast? Yeah, I used to get that sometime. It would drop on the old Conrad Thompson feed, but it doesn't anymore. I don't know is he not affiliated with him anymore? I have no idea.
I don't know how that happens. Who knows?
I don't know. Did they have a falling out?
I still get the Kevin Nash podcast I think. Fuck, I don't know. It's a good question.
Well, I get the ad-free shows. I'm a Patreon member. I pay $29 a month to get them early and ad-free. All those wrestling podcasts, and I get the other shit too, like the Ask Conrad.
Yeah, is that worth the $29?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, good. Anyway, I have my podcast feed. It still comes up. So, yeah, I watch that. I listen to that every now and then.
I like to listen to, here's an individual that a lot of people don't really care for him, but I like him, and I like to listen to his stuff, is Vince Russo.
I guess I should try. I don't know.
Bro. And I like the podcast, the Keeping It 100 podcast with Conan and the Disco Inferno.
I haven't listened to that one.
DI.
That one could be good. I don't know.
It's pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you guys for checking out the show. We appreciate y'all as always, and we'll talk with you later on.